Every year, governments, economists, and news anchors celebrate economic growth as if it were proof of progress, pointing to rising GDP charts, stronger markets, and expanding output. Yet beneath the applause lies a question that refuses to disappear. If the economy is growing faster than ever, why does life feel increasingly fragile for ordinary people? Rent consumes larger portions of income, food and energy prices climb relentlessly, healthcare and education become luxuries, job security erodes, and savings lose value because modern growth has been reduced to a single metric: gross domestic product, which measures how much money changes hands, but never asks who benefits, who suffers, or what is sacrificed along the way. GDP treats all activity as equal, counting rebuilding after disasters, pollution cleanups, wars, medical bills, and financial speculation as growth, even though these events often signal failure rather than prosperity, revealing a fundamental flaw. Growth measures motion, not meaning, and activity, not well-being. Over time, growth became an ideology, and GDP became its sacred symbol, guiding policy decisions, elections, and corporate strategies, even as it ignored the lived reality of millions. The economy today resembles an inflating balloon, getting larger in size but thinner in substance, where most of the expansion flows upward toward asset owners, shareholders, banks, and large corporations, while wages lag behind productivity and living costs rise faster than incomes, leaving workers struggling to keep pace. This system is powered by three reinforcing engines: debt, consumption, and asset inflation. Governments borrow to stimulate spending. Households rely on credit to maintain lifestyles. Corporations chase short-term profits, and central banks inject liquidity to keep growth alive, inflating stocks, real estate, and financial assets, while everyday necessities become harder to afford. The illusion holds as long as markets rise, but history repeatedly exposes its weakness during crises, most clearly in 2008, when the global financial system collapsed under the weight of speculation and leverage, revealing that growth had been built on fragile foundations. Banks were rescued, markets recovered, GDP rebounded, and headlines declared victory, yet millions of people lost homes, jobs, savings, and long-term stability, demonstrating that growth can return without prosperity, and that recovery on paper does not mean recovery in life. In the years that followed, the pursuit of growth intensified rather than slowed, with governments chasing higher numbers at any cost, tolerating rising inequality, environmental destruction, burnout, and social fragmentation, while central banks printed unprecedented amounts of money to prevent collapse, pushing asset prices higher and widening the gap between those who own wealth and those who depend on wages. The promise that growth would trickle down slowly faded as it became clear that wealth was pooling at the top, not spreading through society, shrinking the middle class and eroding trust in institutions, politics, and economic narratives. Growth-driven systems reward efficiency over resilience, speed over stability, and profit over purpose, leaving societies vulnerable to shocks, climate stress, and financial instability, all while insisting that more growth is the solution to problems created by growth itself. Economic growth is not inherently bad. It has lifted living standards, funded innovation, and reduced poverty in certain eras. But when it becomes the ultimate goal rather than a tool, it blinds decision-makers to human outcomes, environmental limits, and social cohesion. A healthy economy is not simply one that grows faster, but one that distributes opportunity fairly, values stability, protects dignity, and improves quality of life across generations. The real question we were supposed to ask was never how fast the economy is growing, but who it is growing for, who it leaves behind, and how long it can last. Because until growth is measured by human well-being rather than abstract numbers, it will remain the most celebrated and most dangerous lie in modern finance.